Wait, yeah, 5. So we've got enough. We've got a quorum. So I'll go ahead and open the meeting at 6:02 p.m. Good evening and welcome to the December 19th meeting of the Hopkinton Elementary School Building Committee 2. I'll quickly go through our agenda, which will be relatively short, and then we will get started. We will open, as always, with public comment. We will then move on to, we don't have minutes to approve tonight, so we'll skip that. We do have invoices to approve. There are 2 of them, so we will approve those. We will review and approve the project scope and budget agreement with the MSBA. And then we will receive a few other relevant project updates from Vertex. And then we will wrap, hopefully relatively quickly, as I'm sure on December 19th, everybody's got a whole bunch of things going on. So we'll try to be as quick and efficient as possible. The first item is public comment. It does not look like we have anyone from the public here. So we will just move on past that. We do have to approve invoices. So we have 2 invoices in the invoice packet tonight. Invoice number OPM 116-20 for Vertex in the amount of $7,964 even, and invoice number 95420-00.0-14 for Perkins Eastman in the amount of $2,971.24. Does anyone have any questions about the invoices? Okay, hearing none, I would seek a motion to approve the invoice package as included in the amendment in the materials.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, motion by Mike. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Mike, second by Jagroot. As we are conducting this meeting virtually tonight, we will do a roll call vote. I'm going to go in the order that my Zoom windows are. So starting with Bill.
Yes.
Jagroot.
Yes.
Nancy.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes, sir.
And I am a yes. So the invoices are approved by a unanimous 5-0 vote. Next, we can move on to the project scope and budget agreement. Jeff, is there anything you want to tee up here?
So the project scope and budget agreement is the culmination in the package that you submitted back in August. So in August, we submitted the project scope in terms of the SD package. That's all the design documents, the narratives, the plans, the documents. Those are all now exhibits to this agreement. It's the MSBA standard agreement. And the funding budget got updated by the board vote in October of 2025, which is the higher reimbursement rate. So this is a culmination of all those documents that the committee has already reviewed and approved and need to recommend John to sign on your behalf, as well as the school committee and the select board have to approve their respective chairs to sign on their behalf. And then that locks in the project scope and budget agreement. This is the first agreement in a 2-step process. This is essentially the terms of the deal. And then as soon as this is signed by both the town and the state, a second document will be spit out, which is the project funding agreement, which is the mechanism to get reimbursed for the future phases. So it's a 2-part agreement that will be coming forth before you.
And Nancy, just to confirm, I believe the school committee has already voted approval on this.
That is correct. The select board did as well.
Okay, excellent. So does anyone have any questions about the project scope and budget agreement at this point? Okay, hearing none, I would seek a motion to approve the project scope and budget agreement and authorize the chair of the elementary school building committee to sign on the committee's behalf.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mike, second by Bill. Roll call in the same order. Bill.
Yes.
Jagroot.
Yes.
Nancy.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes, sir.
And I am a yes. So it is unanimous 5-0. And Carol, I mentioned to Georgette, I'll be in town tomorrow, so I'll swing by the district office and sign it.
That's perfect. Thank you.
So that's it for our written items on the agenda. Jeff, you indicated there are a couple more updates you wanted to provide.
Yeah, just a couple of quick updates. So the design team is now off and running. The contracts have been authorized through last meeting. The design team is moving forward in earnest with design development. They're scheduling a couple of follow-up user meetings for some technical items to then work towards a design development package the end of the winter, essentially. We're going to get some new consultants on board on the project, and that's the update I wanted to give you, which is the MSBA pays for and assigns a commissioning agent, similar to what they did in the marathon school. So we don't have a choice in who they pick. It's part of their stable of employees, and they rotate out across their projects. So we've been assigned Fitzmyer and Tachi as the MEP commissioning agent, and Thrive, which is spelled 3IV. Which can get frustrating and annoying for some people to pronounce, but Thrive is the building envelope consultant. And so those are the two firms. They've submitted a proposal back to the MSBA, which is essentially a scope of work. You know, I kicked the tires on that just to make sure they had geothermal experience and a few other things. They confirmed back that they did. We're using both Thrive and Fitzmyer and Tachi on multiple school projects, so we are familiar with them. And so ready to get going with them in earnest. Their first task will be to review the design development package that'll come out, you know, at the end of this winter. And then they'll get more engaged as we go on through design. And then their big lift is in construction towards the tail end for verification purposes and making sure that the state and the town have got what they paid for with the installing contractors. The other update I wanted to give was that there is a controls vendor that I'm going to set up a meeting with Tim and Susan just to introduce them. It's someone we're working with in 2 other towns at the moment. They've asked to be introduced to the team here. And so what that is because these buildings get smarter and smarter in terms of how everything talks to each other. There's a couple of specialty contractors out there that do more than commissioning. And they essentially help advise the design team to fine tune the systems to be what the school and department wants it to be. And so I'll have an initial meeting with Tim and Susan to see if it's something they're interested in and pursuing. Like I said, we have gone under it with 2 recent projects. Those are in construction now, so we don't have the long track record of the implementation phase. They have worked with your design firm, CMTA, before in other completed projects, and CMTA is familiar with them. So if Tim and Susan are satisfied with that scope of work, we may bring a proposal back to the committee for you to consider at a meeting later this winter. And that's all the updates that we had. I apologize for not getting the Eversource program in there. There is some engineering memorandum of understanding we need to sign. Now we're moving into design development with a little bit of shared cost there. So this is a follow on from the document you already signed at the beginning of schematic design to kind of do some additional work. It was a 2-part agreement, just like our contracts where there was schematic design phases and then post funding authorization phases. So we'll bring that back at your January meeting and have that in front of you.
Any questions from anybody? Sorry.
No, go ahead. That's it, John.
Just wanted to offer if there are any questions regarding those contractor updates.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, I'm curious, is there an expected date yet for the test well?
Yes, great question, Bill. Yeah, we're looking at MLK Day. So we're trying to work that week. Right now, we're also exploring a test well for the Hopkins project, and that's going to go before the school committee this Thursday for that proposal. So the goal was to do the 2 wells back to back. So we would do MLK Day for Hopkins and then the following day for Elmwood. And then if we need to adjust the roadway because of, you know, snow or grading issues, we may come back in front of you guys for an adjustment to deal with that.
Thank you.
And obviously subject to weather. If Mother Nature doesn't want to cooperate with us, we'll have to bump that out.
Feels like yesterday you could have drilled easily.
You would have sank yesterday, the amount of rain we had going on.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
there were a lot of trees cleared. I know, especially in all of our towns. I was
Yeah.
out of power most of the day here, just like you guys were yesterday. So never a dull moment.
Okay, any other updates?
That's it from our end.
Okay. Then that concludes our agenda and what might be one of the fastest meetings we've ever had. We are scheduled to meet again in January, and I believe we did set that date.
I don't know if we did or not. I was wondering.
Oh, maybe we didn't.
We had picked a
Um,
Tuesday, the 16th, maybe?
I think, yeah, that was familiar to me. Yeah, so I think we're tentatively saying January 16th, but we'll need to confirm. Okay, so the next meeting, again, is targeted for January 16th, but there will definitely be a meeting in January. So if there is nothing else, I would seek a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have a motion by Nancy, a second by Mike. Roll call vote, Bill,
Yes.
Jagroot,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes, Merry Christmas all.
I am a yes. Everyone have a wonderful holiday. Hopefully everybody gets to take a bit of a break, and we will see you in January. Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you.
Everybody. Holidays.